baby, we out here. You see what's going on, we activated, we ain't playing no games.
You see, I rule my brand.
No, for sure, for sure.
I got my brand. I had to.
What do that? If we can, man, we just gonna go on and get right into it.
Okay.
What do that stand for?
D-Day Music Group?
Yeah.
Well, actually, D-Day Music Group stands for my last name, Doja Day.
Okay.
You know, I was partnered up with a partner of mine before, and I went through like 3 different record labels that we tried to do stuff and venture off into. And then, you know, that's just, you know, I switched it up.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Well, let's go ahead and hit the rewind button, man,
All right,
so we can properly get you introduced, man.
What up, though?
Today's guest, man, on the platform, man. Just in my brief time speaking and kind of going back and forth with you, man, you got a story. You've been in the entertainment music industry for years. Been in the streets, overcame the streets, survived the streets. And it just seemed like, man, you one of them, you know, in Detroit, man, we look for the OGs.
Facts.
We look for people that got sound minds, that's been through things, that can convey and kind of give game to the youngins as to where it don't come off where, you know how it can come off sometimes,
right,
that relatability.
Well, the thing is, it's been a disconnection with the younger versions. You know what I'm saying? And I call them the 90 babies. You know what I'm saying? The 90 babies, early 2000 babies. It's a disconnection where when we was coming up, you know, I came up under the OGs that was born and came up in the 50s and the 60s. So, you know what I'm saying? These guys was in their 20s, and, you know, when I was a kid, they was probably in their 30 and 40, you know. So it's a disconnection where, you know, the youth now, they take their homeboy advice better than they do what you will so-called call an OG.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. And just to properly introduce you, man, I know you go by many names,
Multiple.
but we got Diz in the building, man. What's going on, my brother?
Facts. What's up, man? Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Facts.
Pleasure and honor, bro. You can be anywhere, but you decided to pull up on us, man, and we highly appreciative of that, bro. So
man,
yeah,
I appreciate you having me, man.
How you been feeling today, man? I know yesterday you had the funeral of Boss, a legendary female.
Shell, man. Shell, yeah, man. Well, it was a private family thing, you know. I was blessed to be able to be there, you know. I go way back, not per se with Shell, but a lot of people that was around her. I had a chance to meet her, you know, in the early 90s, and she went on to further her career because I met her through people like Miles, well, we call him Doc Chill, Jewel, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I was there, man. I got a chance to go say my goodbyes to her, man. It was a real touchy thing. You know, touched me.
Yeah, man. And if you can, because I know, like, even when we was communicating, you began to kind of give me game on her legend. I actually heard Rocky Bad talking day before yesterday on IG Live, and she was saying that it's female rappers that was doing their thing and going crazy in the city of Detroit before her, before Cash Doll, before the you know Pretty Breas and the Bay Vanillas and Lana Ladonnas and just all of the dope female artists that's doing their thing in the city right now.
Right.
If you can talk a little bit about who she was and some of the accomplishments that she done on behalf of Detroit.
Well, see, the thing is, Boss is a legend. You know, God rest her soul. She was the first female rapper that was signed to Def Jam. She was the first female gangster rapper. A lot of people didn't even know she was from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the people who knew. And when she came out and she signed over there with Def Jam, she had a real big impact on the music industry because she was the only female at that particular time that was doing the type of music she was doing. So she was right there with the NWAs. She was right there with the DJ Quicks. You know what I'm saying? The Spice Ones, you know, and in that era, to be a female and to be crushing the game, she was real dope. She was dope for her time, you know. And it's sad that a lot of people don't do their background checks on people because Boss was a legend. She was a
No
legend,
doubt.
and she represented the city to the fullest. And she was a real Detroit native. So
Real talk, man. Again, man, condolences to her family,
yes,
all of her fans and supporters, man. Keep her name alive.
most definitely.
And we gonna make sure that we always acknowledge and honor, you know what I mean, her and her contribution to the city of Detroit, man. Recently, um, it's been the city kind of been in an uproar, you know what I mean? The city
Facts.
kind of been a little bit divided in perspectives on Benzino
Yeah.
coming to the city to diss Eminem.
Yeah. First of all, let me start here. Let me give you a background history on myself. So before I tap off into that. I come from an era of from the late 60s, early 70s, like I said, where structure was different, beliefs was different, morals was different. With that being said, you know, I came up, my mother had 10 kids. I was the seventh child. So I had older siblings and I had younger siblings. But at the same time, we all had morals. And I taught my kids at the same time, you live by morals, you live by rules, and you got to have respect. Other than that, you just out here and you flowing. And most of those cats, even to my homeboys, they ended up dead, and they was dead by time that didn't live by those, like almost like the 10 commandments of the streets or the 10 commandments of, being self-disciplined. And they ended up, they was dead, and my name, reigned in the streets, but I was always sort of like the fly on the wall. Um, and where we came from, back then, like we didn't have gangs. I don't knock nobody for what they do. I was blood and didn't even know I was blood. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jeffrey Projects. You know what I'm saying? I came up in the projects because we didn't have gangs. Like I said, we had neighborhoods. And by that being said, you had cousins that might have went over to 6 Mile. You might have had a cousin that lived in Brewster, Smith and Projects, the Smith homes. You had in Herman Gardens. And that's what we did. Detroit always been little because we was always kind of segregated. And so with the Benzino situation, it's kind of like I can weigh it out either way. I can weigh it out two different ways. And where I come from, it's like you didn't do certain things. You didn't shoot kids. You didn't shoot old women. You didn't touch women, period, if you was in the streets. Because if you broke any of those commandments or any of those morals, then the neighborhood or the guys in the neighborhood or the upper beings, they had to deal with you. So what I'm basically saying is everybody got their own feelings about the Benzino situation. Me, myself, personally, I could look at it from some rap shit. He tried to clean it up, but and that's cool because it's people who feel a certain way about Eminem. But see, I know Eminem. You know what I'm saying? I knew Eminem before Eminem became Eminem. And to be honest, everybody always saying things like he don't look out for the city, he don't do this, he don't do that. But if you knew Eminem, and I think the first time I met him was, dang man, it was probably 1992, 3, somewhere. It might have been before then, but I think it was about 92, 93. Because we all was affiliated with a certain person, and we all met up at his house. And I remember playing Genesis with him. Like,
Damn.
yeah, he used to like the what was that video game? It was a fighting game. The spit out the fire.
Yeah, you
Mortal Kombat, I think it was. It was either that or one of them other games.
Or Street Fighter. Yeah.
That's what it was, Street Fighter. So I know him. I know Proof, God rest his soul, Shine. And right now, I think personally, when Proof died, the whole hip hop shit died. Like I know Royce, I know Anybody that's somebody out of Detroit, I know them because I was around that. And anybody that knew that I was around that, they used to call me. So even though I was in the streets doing my thing, they called me. And they would have me meet at these certain places because I didn't meet Proof Sean doing rap. Right. I met him hanging out in the streets at the motorcycle clubs. You know, Outkast, Zodiac, Red Devils. That's what we did after hour. That was our after hours back in the day. But getting back to your question. The whole thing is, like I said, I made a post and said, and you know, because to me it's funny. I said, the Godfather, which is, I call him the Godfather, Trick. Boy, I got to see what Trick gonna say. So I saw something that Trick posted and he was like, you got to realize I was right there with Trick too. You know, click, boom. Shout out to Trick. And Benzino got to realize that you got rappers in Detroit and then you got real gangsters in Detroit.
Yeah.
So regardless of where it come from, Detroit, we are real people. So regardless if they get off into this rap shit, I don't really get off into the rap shit. I never really deal with the rapper type of situation because I never portrayed to be a rapper, but I've been around the rapper scene. Benzino best to stop playing. It's not gonna be a Trick, a Snap Dog. It's not gonna be Dogface Can Save You or all these other guys you save you because you playing with real people that will die for this shit.
Yeah.
I took 3 bullets in Detroit. You get what I'm saying? I done been to jail in Detroit. I got homeboys with headstones that done lived and died for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, he need to stop playing. There's not no game. He trying to clean it up and say it's for him. Don't nobody really care that it's for him.
And that was gonna be my question because you do have people like Dogface, you know, that interviewed him, and his position was Benzino been coming in and out of Detroit since the 80s, and he told stories on, you know, in an interview, he told stories about his relations with YBI and them, you know what I mean, you know,
Blade.
doing business and working out there in Boston where the YBI boys used to go out there in Boston and do their thing. And Street Lords, his relationship with Street Lord Rook, Brother Yacht.
Yeah.
And so Dogface position was Eminem don't do for the city and he's not doing X, Y, and Z. Why should we
I fuck with Dogface.
Disconnect the relationship of somebody that's been coming in and out of Detroit for somebody that's currently not necessarily looking out?
And that goes back to what I was saying. Morals, respect. Like, this is my thing. I come from an era, and I'm going to keep saying this. You got to realize, first of all, Benzino is in his 50s. Eminem is in his 50s. So talking this beef shit and coming to Detroit, when you disrespect him, regardless of he a white boy, regardless of he don't fuck with nobody, he represent Detroit. So when you fuck with him, you fucking with Detroit. You fuck with 50, you fucking with New York. You fuck with Ice Cube, you fucking with LA. California. You fuck with Snoop, you fucking with California.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it boils down to the morals, man. You cannot come to nobody's city, whether you doing what you doing and you showing highly disrespect. Now, this is my thing as being a Detroit native, because this is how I was raised. If your birth certificate doesn't say St. John, Hustle Hospital, Mark Carmel, Henry Ford. If you wasn't born in Detroit, you wasn't born in Detroit. You're not from Detroit. But everybody claimed Detroit. That's fine. I ain't knocking nobody, because I know a lot of these rappers that's not from Detroit, including him. Dogface got on to say he from Pontiac. But it all boils down to morals, man. It all boils down to respect. It all boiled down to he came here, he disrespected him, but he disrespected Detroit. So where I come from,
It's unacceptable.
if I see you, nigga, it's on. You gotta realize we real Detroit niggas. Nigga, fuck this rap shit. We done came to your city. I was going to different cities at 19, 20. You understand what I'm saying? You talking to somebody at 15 years old made $500,000, bro. We don't give a fuck about that. I swear to God, Corrupt from Dog Pound. I told him, God rest his soul, Proof. I said, man, this before Proof got killed. I said, man, let me tell you about Detroit, man. We hustlers. We been hustlers, bro. I was born into this shit. I didn't want into this shit. These niggas do this shit for reputation. And like I said, I told Corrupt, I say, man, Detroit niggas don't give a fuck. They will kill they own.
Mm-hmm.
They just like a fucking puppy being born by his mother.
Yeah.
They will eat their young.
Yeah.
Detroit will eat your ass up. Wherever we go, I guarantee you, you go to any state, and I've been state to state, wherever you can go to California, Atlanta, Alabama, you can go fucking Ohio. You can go to Grand Rapids. It's somebody in that city, and he's a black guy, and guess what they call him? Detroit. Because wherever we go, we set up motherfucking shop. See, this the whole thing is Benzino came here and he did some foul ass shit. Me, myself, personal, I just sat back and watched it because you got this shit now called the internet. This shit'll get you killed. I guarantee you, like, he not gonna be able to come back here and do that shit again. Because everybody radars are up now.
For sure.
So all these guys he run around, and it's just me. This has nothing to do with nobody else. This is a disclaimer. This is just me being for who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say I'm going to do nothing to him. I'm just going to say he's not going to be able to do that shit again. I guarantee you that.
You said something that stood out to me, though, that I kind of wanted to go back to. Mm-hmm. And it was just the whole relationship with M. Mm-hmm. And because it is controversy, you know, around his name in terms of people saying that he, you know, he made racial, you know, statements in regards to, we're going to get to it. I don't want to get into it right now because I do want to go back to the origin and get your history. And then work our way up. But I just wanted to drop that because I do want to get your thoughts on that. And I do want you to kind of explain who Eminem was back then. What was his vibe? What was his energy? And could that have been literally just a moment or a mistake? But going back to the origin, man, projects, right?
Jeffrey Brewster's,
Brewster's, Jeffrey projects.
The bricks.
We know the climate of projects and in general, projects was something that, and I listened to the name projects, it's a project from the government. But from New York, you got the projects. Chicago, you got projects. Detroit projects. If you can, talk about what was life like growing up in the projects, your mom, your pops, the dynamics of your household, and what effect did it have on you?
Okay. So first of all, I was born Carlton Dozier, aka C to the D. You know what I'm saying? C Dizzy. You know what I'm saying? Diz. Like I said, my mother had 10 kids. I'm the 7th child. I wasn't personally, I was raised over on 14th in West Grand Boulevard, which is over at Motown. Which you got, shout out to Zone 8, Dexter, Linwood, 12th Street, shout out to, 100 Years. But we actually was raised over there, me and my siblings over there, but we had cousins that was in the project. So back then we didn't know it was low income or nothing, that sort of thing. We just know we was going over our cousin's house. So I started going to, Jeffrey Projects from 1972 and my cousin them took me down there. And, as a kid, you know what I'm saying, a baby really. And I would go down there for the summer and I would spend weekends with them. So I had, a chance to come up in Jeffrey Projects from the 70s. With that being said, I had cousins that lived in the Brewsters. I had cousins that lived in Herman Gardens. So when you go back then, like I said, we came up in neighborhoods. So when you went to these neighborhoods, you had a cousin, you got to meet their friends. And growing up, you know, in the projects and going to stay the summers, and back then summers used to seem long. I'm talking about as soon as I was out of school, that day I was going to the projects, to Jeffries. You know what I mean? So it was like, I called it Gotham City because the projects, like New York still got their projects. The only projects here that's in Detroit that still even exists is the Smith and Homes. And you know, I think it's like 3 high rises that's still left over in Jeffrey projects, but they tore all that down. The Brewsters, they tore it down completely. I think the only thing they still got over there is the little building or whatever where they used to do the community center. So all that is new, like, you know what I'm saying? But it was fun, man. It was like, you know, a lot of these kids nowadays, they're not going to experience what we experienced, the Swimmobile, free lunches, you know what I'm saying? And at a certain time, it just taught me how to be stronger because I already had my brothers and sisters that was older. So, you know, I was getting a lot of knowledge from a lot of different ways. And, you know, I was born into a big family that my uncles, they had kids. So all my cousins was like my brothers and sisters. Yeah. So besides having my siblings, it was like 30 or 40 of us. So we moved like the mob already. You know what I mean? So growing up in Detroit and being a part of that and seeing things, and it's the thing, a lot of people, and it's no disrespect to nobody, but a lot of people don't understand this. What they glorify now or they see now, it was an everyday life for us. It was not about a reputation. Before BMF, before YBI, you had the Earl Flynn's. You had Eminem's Pony Down. You know what I mean? So I got brothers and cousins and uncles that was involved with these situations. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of born into that.
No doubt, no doubt. You said one particular word that stood out to me. And you said neighborhood.
Right.
These days, we only have the hood.
Well, I call them hood hoppers.
And the only reason why I'm making that point is because neighborhood has a different connotation than hood. We living in the hood as opposed to the neighborhood. What is your neighbor? So what was like the relationship in terms of?
We was family.
Yeah.
We was family. No matter, that's like I just said, I could go down to my cousins in them house, down in the project, it was family. Everybody loved on each other. You didn't see the hate because it was all love. You got to realize I was so young that we used to stay on 14th and right across the street was a gas station. So after the white people and the Jews and all these type of people started moving out of our neighborhoods, the blacks was moving in.
What year was this?
This was probably 1976, 77. I seen the water fountains that said white color. I saw the bathrooms that said white color and it was on the side of the gas station. You understand what I'm saying? And what it is we were so segregated that you got our heroes and my heroes was Mary Coleman Young.
Yeah.
David Ruffin. You understand what I'm saying? These were my neighbors. Aretha Franklin was my neighbor. You understand what I'm saying? So coming from that era and seeing all this stuff and being around drugs and alcohol, and our house was kind of like the party house. You know, I watched doo-wop. My uncles and them used to sit up and they friends and sing. You know what I'm saying? So we had family. It was all love. You know, I started drinking on my first beer, went out and digging off into the garbage can and sneaking the beer, drinking that with my brothers and sisters. And I was like 8 years old. We getting buzzed up just because we was in the party house. You know what I'm saying?
And that's interesting too, because even when you fast forward to making $500,000 at 15 years old.
Yeah.
And you say at 8 years old, you was digging off in a trash can, taking a sip.
Right.
Talk about growing up like fast. And when you started making money, like when you start jumping off the porch, was this just still heroin at this time? Did the crack come in at that point? Talk a little bit about that.
Like I said, I was born into something I didn't realize what I was doing. It was opportunity. And how this happened, like I talked to one of my artists and he said he never seen $1,000 in cash. And I was like, damn, you never seen $1,000 in cash? And he's like, nah, he 26 years old at the time. So the thing is, this is how it happened. It can happen. This is exactly how it happened. I had a brother. Like I said, I had brothers, and 3 of my brothers were older brothers. So my brother, because I don't want to like say his name, but he was my road dog. Mm-hmm. So he was like, they all pampered me, but 2 of my brothers was one of the reasons that I kind of got off the porch early. So one of my brothers took me and to hustle with him. Now at the time, this probably like 1979, 1980. They used to sell heroin, and it was called Poison, which it was poison because it was drugs, but it was a stamp. So I went over on Ferry Park. Shout out to Big Daddy. This was like in White's Record Shop. So we used to go over here off of 14th in Ferry Park. They was making tops. So the packages was $12. So you will make the $10 and then the $12 will go to the runners, which was called runners. So the runners would make the $2 tops, and I guess the $10 was going to, to pay off for the bundles. And my brother took me over there, and I had to be about 10 years old, maybe 11. I was about 10. And I sat in the car, and he used to just tell me, yo, when I come over here, put the money in this bag, and then put the $2 in your pocket. And then, I had 2 separate bags. So that's how I kind of got introduced to the game.
Yeah.
So when he did that, I looked up, and you got to realize this 80, 81, I had $300 by the time the end of the day was. So we might have started doing that when I got out of school. So when I got out of school, he would tell my mom I was going with him. So when I went with him, we just went straight up and set shop. So I guess after he made his money off the tops, he let me make my money, and that was his way of getting me some money. So by the time I went home, 8 o'clock at night, by the time, the sun went down, I'm like 10, 11 years old, like $300 in my pocket. You get what I'm saying? So you got to realize this is when $1 went a long way.
Yeah.
So $300 at that particular time
was worth way more.
It's like having $3,000.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now I'm doing this with my brother, and after a while, like I said, I was still going to the projects. So I got mad love down there because I had like 6, 7 female cousins that was talking to the guys, and these guys is real big dope dealers. And that's how I kind of like, I got educated within the streets and how to move and do this certain thing. I bought my first pistol when I was 12 years old.
What motivated you to do that? Just knowing that you were in the streets and you needed it, or was it just something to have because you seen your big brothers and everybody else?
Well, you got to, like I said, my mother and them, I lived with my mother and my grandmother. My father wasn't in the home. My father had 10 kids by my mother and got the fuck on. You get what I'm saying? So I was the 7th child. I knew my father, but I knew of my father. My older brothers and sisters, they knew my father. I didn't know my father. I just knew his name. I seen him, but I didn't know him. I didn't know when his birthday was. I didn't know what color he liked. And I didn't know shit about him. So like I said, at this time, you got to realize my mother had so many kids. I was going down there with my cousins, so I was getting sprinkled with they shit. Yeah. I'm going over here. I'm watching my uncle and them. I'm getting sprinkled with this shit. I'm getting sprinkled with the shit with my brothers. I'm getting sprinkled with motherfuckers at school. I'm just like putting all this together. And I wasn't no dumb motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? But I was quiet. But I always just observed. And that's what's wrong with the youth today. They don't sponge up the information. So like I said, to make a long story short, I was going over here with my brothers to get this money, and then I went to the projects. So when I went to the projects, and like I said, this was Earl Flynn, Eminem. This was my brother and them throwing up. They throwing up sets in like 81, 82 saying
what do Eminem stand for?
It was Eminem. It was just Eminem. This was before the Eminems.
Right.
To this day, that's a good question. I'm going to have to ask them. But I just knew it was Eminem. They was representing Eminem. I don't know if it was from the candy or whatever.
Or but street or something. Yeah, whatever, yeah.
That's how me and Proof got cool, because Proof used to talk about Earl Flynn's. And if you go back and watch in the club video, Proof and Swift, that's my man. Shout out to Swifty. D12. Good guy. him and Proof, they Earl Flynn in the club video. So we kids, we Earl Flynn. We from the west side of Detroit, that's all we know. So basically what it all broke down to was I was introduced to the hustle and I loved it. Because now my inspiration is the money. Because like I said, my mother never was able to buy me shit. Not what I wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Too many kids and just, yeah.
Facts. So I got off into that and how I really, like I said, God rest his soul, my homeboy Vinny and my homeboy Ralph. You know what I'm saying? They had a house around the corner from me, which they sisters used to hang out with my older brother and sister. They older, they was, same age. And this is where I was raised, which is called Boys Town, BTD, Boys Town, West Side. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody knew about Boys Town. But just to bag it up a little bit, I heard about YBI through affiliations of my brother and them. Everything I learned from my brothers.
What year was this when you learned about YBI?
First time I really got the knowledge of YBI, I want to say I was about 13, 83.
And so at this time, I assume crack is full blown.
No. This before crack. This just, like I said, when my brother took me on Ferry Park, it was a blow. We called it blow, but heroin. It's blow. You didn't know nothing about crack. You knew about cocaine, but nobody knew about crack. Crack didn't hit. The first time I seen crack was probably 1984.
Were there any?
Maybe 83, 84.
Did you hear about it in other
No,
cities?
when I say I heard, no.
It was just
you gotta realize, when you raised in Detroit back then, you didn't know nothing. The only reason I was able to go other places because my mother took us out of town. We had family in Alabama, family in Chicago. Shout out to Chicago, Cottage Grove, Staten Island, West Side. You know what I'm saying? I'm South Side, my bad. South Side, Chicago, Cottage Grove, Staten Island, 102nd Street. But I got family out there to this day. They don't fuck with me, but I got family out there. You know what I mean? But shout out to my family. What up, Carmen? Love you. Get at me. But it was like I said, man. We had different platforms, and we had a certain amount of respect, and that's what it all boiled down to. So when I first seen crack was when my brother introduced me to the one I told you took me to hustle. He started using crack. You got to realize that this is something new. It's like weed. It's like pills. They was trying it. They didn't realize the effect and the domino effect that this shit was gonna have. My mother kept me in karate and boxing and shit, so I was an athletic type guy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm pretty preserved to this day. I used to run and do karate. I was small though. You know what I'm saying? I was in high school. I got double promoted, and I had to go repeat the 8th grade because I went to private school. I started out in Thurkle. Shout out to Thurkle. My mother took us out of Thurkle. I went to St. Teresa, and then from there I graduated to go to St. Martin de Porres. But I was 12 years old to go to the 9th grade because of my birthday. So what happened was I was going to go to de Porres, but we lost our scholarship, and I had to go back to public school, which I asked my mother. I wanted to go back to public school because all my homeboys was in public school. We riding the bus every day going to school. And being bused off to school, to private school. And when I finally got the opportunity, I had to go back and repeat the 8th grade to put me in the 9th grade to go to Northwestern. And like I said, it's so much, we can't sum it all up today, but it's just so much that I watch these people get on these podcasts and I just be sitting there cringing sometimes because I'm like, oh man, I ain't sure how that shit happened. Like, this how this shit happened. I'm not talking about something that I think or what somebody told me. I'm talking about what I lived. I lived that shit. To make $500,000 at 15 years old, this ain't nobody else fucking money. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, my cousin them down in the project, Jeffrey Projects, they was going with these guys that was hustlers. You know, these motherfuckers driving Benzes and Porsches in fucking 82, 83, Volvos and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they end up, instead of giving me money, they gave me a half a brick of cocaine. I was 14. Oh,
And
look,
by this
get
time,
that little nigga some money. I mean, get that little nigga some work. You know what I'm saying?
and by this time, I assume your hustle hand is already.
I'm ridiculous, man. I done bought my. I wasn't getting money like that. I just knew the game. I knew where to go. I knew how to get it off. So I end up going. They gave it to me so that I wouldn't have to, so I could have some money because they was like, it was cocaine. They like, you keep some money. That's how it was. And so they gave me the half a brick. I took it to my man's Bone, rest in peace. And this when I got introduced to crack cocaine. And he cooked that shit up. And the first night I made $30,000. The first night from 11 o'clock, maybe 11 to 12 o'clock to 6 in the morning, I was done with the bag.
Damn.
You
and
get
when
what
you
I'm saying?
seeing these people like come back, is you thinking like, damn.
Well, I knew the traffic, but like I said, I went to my homeboy's house and they mom was kind of, back then everybody was working at the plant. So it was money. Everybody was getting a check on the 1st to 15th. You understand what I'm saying? So this probably like, I can't really remember for real, but it was probably like the 1st of the month, bro. It was like everybody was spending. So my homeboy and them was on their way going out. You got to realize, man, before we was able to buy liquor, before we could join the army, before we could drive cars, bro, we was doing all this shit at 15, 16 years old, bro. Probably 14. When I watched Snowfall, it reminded me of my life. You understand what I'm saying? So to answer your question, crack came in my life around 83, 84. Yeah, 83, 84.
I just want to pivot just a little bit, man, because you brought up the plants in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just look at now like how young men have to like revert to the streets, even though y'all was young in the streets too. But
everybody didn't.
Yeah.
Everybody, let me tell you, I feel bad sometimes because I stopped selling drugs in 1993. And the reason I stopped selling drugs because my 14-year-old cousin, I found out she would smoke crack. And I felt like if I couldn't, because like you got to realize I came in at 11 years old and it was about money. We talking a decade later. So I done turned this into a full-blown hustle. I never wanted to be the kingpin. I just wanted to eat. That's what we got in it for. We got in it to eat. You understand what I'm saying? Before BMF, before YBI, I knew about, Big Daddy. I knew about Sarge. I knew about G-Man. I knew about Gross. I knew about Big Sam. These was the guys that I saw. I knew about Mary Coleman Young, not about the drug, but just who Mary Coleman Young was a real ass street gangster nigga for real. You get what I'm saying? So I'm watching all this shit and I'm taking it all in. But when I got the plug, it was a wrap. My brothers, well, the one who I told you started smoking, I never really gave him shit because I ain't trust him. But my other brother, I gave it to him. Well, I gave it to his homeboy. They was older than me. They probably was like, shit. I was 14, 15. No, I was about 15, 16. I gave the work to my brother's homeboy. And they went and bought the donkey ropes. They done bought cars and shit. But the whole time my brother didn't know it was my work. You get what I'm saying? My mama still buying my school clothes, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you real shit. Like, and then I have my partners and I never told nobody my business. To this day, nobody know my business. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's why one of the things is like, you either gonna live by this shit or you gonna die by this shit. That's why I say Benzino too old to be coming to Detroit fucking around because you fucking with real gangsters, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna get up here and say, like Trick said this thing. Snap said this thing. But the real I'm not saying they not real because they into the rap shit. So they speaking on it. Right. They speaking on, but the niggas from the streets ain't gonna say shit.
Yeah.
They gonna fuck him up if he come in with that bullshit.
That's the whistle. Snap speaking and Trick.
You gotta have a voice.
Yeah.
So they speaking from the entertainment part of that shit, but they still saying stand up Detroit. And I got mad respect for Dogface. You know what I'm saying? Because I go back with Dogface with at Hazel Place over there with Carol Dorsey on back in 2011, 2012. So I respect everybody, man. I just sit back and I don't say shit. I watch these motherfuckers move. Like I said, I know Al Nook. I know a lot of these people, man, that's in the industry. But before they became these celebrities, I was always the fly on the wall. You know what I mean? I remember sitting around with a lot of people. Me and M wasn't the best of friends, but we was all at a mutual friend's house, and he was cool. That's another thing getting to M. Eminem been the same fucking person, and his demeanor been the same since I saw that man and met that man. Even in his rap shit, he the same motherfucker. So everybody saying M. First of all, let's clear this up. Eminem don't owe none of you motherfuckers shit. When I met Eminem, he was the same motherfucker playing the video game. When we went down to San Andreas, he watched me perform. He always wore a hoodie. I don't know why. I didn't go to the hip hop shop. M didn't come where I come. If I see M, I would see M where Proof would be sometime. He didn't even, at the Ebony Showcase, that was it. Now Royce, on the other hand, that's my guy. I just seen Royce over at Snap shit. Roy 5'9". Royce, man, let me tell you. I was a little older than all of them. But you know, back then when you young, 4 or 5 years make it seem like you much older. But the funniest thing, man, Royce was a player that like a motherfucker, dog. Like for real, dog. That nigga Royce
females type shit.
Bro, let me tell you, the shit was funny as fuck to me because I used to be like, who the fuck is this clever ass little nigga? I'm sitting in the back because Proof now had me come down here. So and I just told Royce this. I say, man, I've been wanting to see you, bro. But I remember once Royce used to come in and he used to always have on this do-rag with these ski goggles. And he always had a bitch on this side. Well, I ain't gonna say bitch. Fuck it, we on here. Bitch on this side, bitch on this side. And the shit was so funny to me because this nigga was so smooth, man. And he would just go sit in the booth or sit over to the side. So, and like Royce is the same. Shout out to Royce 5'9". You know what I'm saying? And it's like when people say all that shit, man, I know. You gotta realize like Obi Trice, okay? Obi Trice. You familiar with Obi Trice?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. I met Obi when he was 16, 17 years old. We was in this group called The Chosen One. I don't know if he really want to say he was in the fucking group, but to me, he was in the fucking group. I got old music on Obi ain't nobody never even fucking heard. You understand what I'm saying? That was the Yish from The Chosen Ones was a rapper that was in our group, produced the shit. You feel what I'm saying? But in all honesty, I used to call him Lil O. I still got a message that Obi wrote me on MySpace, my nigga. I printed this shit out because O was my nigga. He's still my nigga. I knew his like a best friend brother to him. He died. Shout out to P Funk Prentice. But like I said, I know everybody, man, but all these people got in a position, and not saying they owe you anything, but if you come from a camp and you get in a certain position, how can you say fuck your people? Same people supported you, bought your cigarettes, fed you, rolled you around, picked you up, and now you get this fucking money, and you know what I'm saying? But I came from money. So that shit that my family came from money. My family was part of Motown, Lamont Dozier. You understand what I'm saying? My daddy and them, everybody had money, man. I rode in drop top Cadillacs my whole fucking kid life. My mother and them just elevated, and they wasn't into the streets. My uncles and them was. My mother, my stepfather, it gave me the best life ever, bro. It was just me. I was who I was. You born who you are.
And if I may, speaking of that, because you also said that you took some bullets, you feel me, for the city of Detroit. Not for the city per se, but in
for
the
my
city.
clique, Boys Town, representing my shit. You understand what I'm saying? And it ain't a one motherfucker that don't know who Boys Town is. Boys Town down. That's what I came from. You know what I'm saying?
If you can walk us through that day and maybe like, you know what I mean, like when you did get shot and just the scenario that played out without having to say no names or anything like that, but just the scenario.
It was just being in the streets, man. It come along with it. You know what I'm saying? The first time I got shot, I did 9 months in the county jail for attempt murder. I fought the case. The case, got dismissed without prejudice. So I got out. It was right before, either the day before Thanksgiving or something like that. But I ended up getting shot the day after Thanksgiving. As soon as I got out of jail, time hadn't passed. So the money hadn't dried up. You know what I'm saying? Because quick you making that money, the quick as it's going anyway. I don't give a fuck. You can have $1 million. If you ain't got no residual income coming in, or the bag gone, or the plug gone, all that shit gonna be spent. So I got out of jail, pretty much had to get back on my feet. I ended up getting a little work. And I went back over to my cousin's house. So I was over, what Starters at over on Foss in Plymouth?
Yep.
That used to be a hick bar. They didn't even want niggas in there. That's why I don't support Starters, real talk, because I remember when they was racist as fuck. This was 1989. They was basically like, hurry up and buy.
Damn.
They didn't even want you to sit in there, but they let you buy their food. But they didn't want you to buy no beer.
Damn.
But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So I ended up getting robbed and shot by a fiend. And he called me slipping because I sat in the car with my homegirl. She had dropped me off. We sat there, we drank a couple brews. I got out. By the time I got out, she bent the corner. He was coming down the street. He called me after did I have a cigarette. I told him I don't smoke. But I knew him because I had served him before. He ran up on me. He had a pistol and shit. I'm looking at the nigga laughing because I got my pistol on me and shit. And I used to carry 2 pistols. But at this particular time, I only had 1 because, like I said, I just had got out of jail. I was just trying to get on my feet. And then he told me to run it. You know what I'm saying? I said, run what? He motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about, stop playing. Bow! So I said, all right, man. I'm still laughing and shit because I'm high and shit. So I'm like, all right, nigga. I'm like, nigga robbed me and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he said, now take your sweater off. Because back in the day, we used to wear these. I had my coat on, so I took my coat off. And then he was like, give me the dope out your sock. And I said, how the fuck this nigga know I got my dope in my sock? So I reached down and I grabbed the sack. I give it to him. And then he was like, now give me that sweater. And I'm like, motherfucker, you want my sweater?
Right.
Shit. So I'm looking at the motherfucker, but the whole time my pistol in my coat. Cause I had my pistol 357. I kept me a 357 mag. And on my mind, I'm like, yeah, as soon as this nigga walk away, you know what I'm saying? Woo, woo, woo. But it didn't quite work out like that. So make a long story short, I gave him the sack. I took my sweater and I flipped it over my head real fast. Cause we used to wear the sweaters, had leather on the front of them, leather on the shoulders and shit. You know what I'm saying? I done wore some shit I done dug in my closet and pulled out. This motherfucker take my goddamn sweater, man. And then he went to walk away and he looked at me and he like, nah, fuck that. And in the same breath, he turned around, but he clicked the gun. And I'm like, why the fuck did this nigga? Instead of shooting it, he clicked it and pointed it at me. So that gave me time enough to grab his arm. And when I grabbed his arm, we wrestled. And then I pushed him, but as I pushed off him, back then I'm probably like 160 pounds, man. You know what I mean? And I felt the bullet hit me. Boom. I just spent around. And then when I started running, I heard him like, boom, boom, boom. And I heard the bullets like whistle. I don't know if you ever been shot at, but this shit ain't no fun. Them bitches whistle. So all of a sudden I feel my stomach going boom, 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 boom. So I just fell. When I fell, I just played like I was dead. Even though I was woke, I just like fell out. And that's the way I landed. I just laid there. So all of a sudden I'm like, damn, this nigga gonna shoot me again. And all of a sudden I heard it again, like boom, boom, like a loud shot. Come to find out it was the neighbor
blowing at him.
And he ran. I fell in his yard. So I guess he must have heard the conversation over her because he shot one time first and then he shot again when he shot me and then he shot again. So, I just ran, man. I mean, once I laid there and the neighbor shot at him, he told me to lay there. And he was like, oh, I'm going to get you some help. So he went back in the house because he had a shotgun. And I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not laying here. This motherfucker might come back. So I like scooted. Cause my legs was gone. So I'm right next door to my auntie house. And I get on the porch and I'm banging on the door, but I'm laying on the porch. Boom, 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 boom. My cousin came to the door and turned the porch light on and turned it off.
Damn.
Now I'm laying there And I'm thinking, I'm just waiting on the door to pop open. Door didn't pop open. I'm like, God damn it. Banging on the bitch again. Now I'm using my elbow. Boom, 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 boom. So my female cousin came to the door. And I was like, I told her, I said, open the door, I'm shot. And she was like, you shot? So she had to like push the screen door. And then I was like, I had to like kind of, she rolled me over. And then my cousin who turned on the light and turned it off, he grabbed me. I had on a t-shirt and he just snatched me in the house. And when he snatched me in the house, I was laying there and I was just laying there. And you got to realize, like, I was so fucked up in the head back then, bro. I didn't think I could be shot. Got to realize from the time I'm 11 years old, I'm untouchable.
Right.
I got a whole crew. I got these guns and shit. I've been shot at, but I ain't never been shot. I didn't think I could be touched. And that's what happened with the first time. And the other 2 times, I was just wrong place, wrong time.
Damn.
Like ride-bys. Like literally the other 2 times I got shot in a ride-by. Like I got shot in this hand. Like I got the scar right here, the bullet. I had a beer in my hand when I got shot this time. When I got shot in the stomach, I got shot in the arm.
Damn.
Out here representing, and then motherfuckers didn't even come to the hospital to see me, but about a couple motherfuckers.
That's crazy.
That's what let me know then, that was 1989 and I got shot 1989, 1991, and 1994.
Damn, each one, they're two.
That's when I knew it was time to get the fuck away from the streets. Real talk. I knew it was time to get the fuck away from the streets. You got to realize I'm moving like a fly on the wall, man. And at the same time, I got this shit in me because I was born a certain way. I was born to be who I was. I was born, when my brother and them turned me on to hustling, it became a passion. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. I just ran in the streets. Like a lot of motherfuckers is like, well, I came up, shout out to 6 Minutes, 50 Strong, 12th Street, 100 Years. You know what I'm saying? Zone 8. You know what I'm saying? Dexter Boys. I was raised over there by a lot of them, the Puritan niggas. Like, man, it was just hoods and it was just real shit. But
and that's what I wanted to ask you too. Gangs versus hoods.
Yeah.
Because now Detroit is turning more into a gang city. But at one point in time,
because these niggas copycatters. They don't even know who they are as a person. They don't know what it is to love their own brother. Love, am I my brother's keeper? They don't understand there's rules and regulations to this shit. They changed the game just like the motherfucking white man changed the game. The white man changed the game. The shit we did when we was kids, they giving them time. You know what I'm saying? The shit that we did, the same crimes, we got probation. They giving these niggas 10 years. I got a son right now, J.R. Cash. Shout out to J.R. Cash. My son was in college, 3 years of college, bro. Same upbringing as me. He didn't even touch Detroit public schools for real, for real. You feel what I'm saying? They went to the burg. And then I moved out to the burg. But the whole thing was, he was 3 years of college, Oakland County. I had just got a deal with Koch. He was rapping. And, he got caught up and out there on some shit fucking with some pills, man. And they gave my son fucking 9 fucking years, bro.
Damn.
I got a son fighting a case right now with Oakland County, man.
How long is he into his 9-year sentence?
He got 11 months, a year and 11 months left.
Okay.
He went in at 22, man. He gonna be 30-some years old. He gave them white folks this motherfucking time. Fuck Oakland County. Damn. Fuck Oakland County. They racist. They the goddamn KKK, but we knew that back then. Mayor Coleman Young told us to keep our black ass up from the fuck over there. What was his name? Book Patterson or whatever the fuck that fucking hunky name was. Fuck him and fuck everything he motherfucking loved. Fuck Oakland County. Fuck them judges. Fuck the DA. Fuck all the motherfucking racist motherfuckers. And they wonder why we mad. They called us motherfucking animals in the 80s. They said we was animals like a part of the wild species and all this fuck shit. No, we was motherfuckers getting money. And motherfucker, if you got a motherfucker over here who eating, that's why I told niggas, you gotta be true to your crew, man. You can't be driving and eating and your fucking crew ain't driving and eating. These niggas ain't got no morals, bro. Their principles is fucked up. That's why I can look at Dogface and laugh, and I understand where Dogface be coming from a lot of times. We the same age. All the guys in my era, we didn't live this long to get where we at to be snuffed out by one of you young, dumb fuck niggas. These niggas is fuck niggas. You know who I fuck with? For real, fuck this rap shit. I fuck with Snap. You know why I fuck with Snap, dog? Cause I had an incident one time, and this little nigga was this motherfucking yay big. He went and grabbed a chopper, nigga, and would have my back, and didn't even fucking know me. We was neighbors. And his mom was like, no, don't do it. Social security number 382. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I found out,
it's that sense of community that he has. Because even when you do look at Snap, like Snap Dogg is one of those,
man.
Yeah, he's one of those artists in Detroit where
he the problem child, man.
Yeah, his clique or his community.
Leaf and the Dog. Shout out to Leaf and the Dog.
Yeah, shout out to Leaf and the Dog and what he got going on with that cannabis or whatever,
man. Floss, what up, though?
For sure. Shout out to Floss too, man. Major supporter of the platform, always been showing love. But in particular with Snap, he's one of them artists where his entourage is not all rappers. You get what I'm saying? You can tell that.
Can I tell you something?
They a community. Like they like brothers.
They his family, bro. They did it. I just told you. We came from neighborhoods. Snap came from a neighborhood. Fuck the gang shit. He came from a neighborhood. Snap feeding his family, bro, off of this rap shit. You get what I'm saying? Snap, let me tell you this fake ass shit. Now, I'm going to keep it all the way buck with you. I have tried to contact, now I'm doing my music shit. I got an artist, Nate Walker. Check him out, Nate Walker. The real Nate Walker. Nate Walker official, 313. Check him out, Nate Walker. You can Google him. All that shit. I reach out to these fuck niggas to try to get with Helliver. I tried to get with Peasy. I fuck with Baby Money because his daddy done fuck with me. You know what I mean? Baby Money from my hood. Cash Doll from my hood. You understand? Which come from the same hood of Awesome Dre. You get what I'm saying? Derek Coleman. Aretha Franklin. David Ruffin. Motown. This the hood. We all in a.
You say that's a legendary neighborhood.
Bro, Kwame, the mayor, was my neighbor. I fuck with Kwame. I used to protect Kwame from the bullies. You get what I'm saying? I had older brothers and sisters. Kwame didn't have but a sister, I think. Yeah, I realized, man, I wasn't faking this shit. I was born in this shit. I'm who I am. You know what I'm saying? And it's just too much fuckery going on, bro. That's all I can say. It's too much fuckery going on. These niggas out here trying to live the fucking life that we live. The fucking life that we were. This is who we are. We ain't trying to get no reputation. You know what I'm saying? You know how I went to jail every time I caught a case? A motherfucker told on me, bro. I didn't get caught doing shit. I never got caught doing nothing. My own brother. Out of my mama 10 kids. I got 4 felonies. He the reason I got 2.
Damn.
And stole money from me and a house. I'm keeping it all the way 100. And my mama, the queen. See, my mama is the fucking chief and we the Indians, bro. Respect. I can't cuss around my mama. These niggas, they get high with their mama. I can't disrespect my mother or my brother or my sister, but I got to go to her when I got a problem because my mama is the chief. When my grandma died, all that shit went out the window. And my grandma was the one that first told me how to carry pistols. And my grandma was a G, Indian woman. My daddy's mama is white. They just fuck with black niggas. My daddy, we got a cool relationship now. I try to fuck him up at his daddy's funeral. Because the nigga told me he was going to put his hands on me. And he told me, be here when I get back. And I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, be here. I didn't even want to come to this shit. My mama told me to come to this funeral. I came on the strength. Nigga, I don't even know you or your daddy. Real talk. I ain't never been over y'all house. Fuck you talking about. I'm just going here. Oh, you going to do what to me? I'll be right back. I went right on my car and got my pistol and bust at his ass. Because that's the mentality I was in. But Karma a motherfucker. She a bitch. And see, where I come from, like I said, ain't no disrespect to nobody. I see the BMF thing going. Bush Jones, you ain't never seen Bush Jones. He wrote a book. Because old niggas, you know why I ain't got a lot of pictures, man, back in the day? Because we was taught not to take pictures. We was taught to shut the fuck up. Be seen, not heard. When I step in the motherfucking place, everybody looking at me. I swear to God, true story. I went over to the motherfucking hood. We be at the store over by Poe, and Baby Money was out there. He don't know me from a can of paint. But when I pulled up, everybody was showing me so much love. He was looking like, who the fuck is that? You get what I'm saying? Now, I already know my surroundings, so I see everybody. I know who the fuck everybody is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. But at the same time, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. And everybody don't know who anybody. Me and you can sit here right now and finish having a conversation. Detroit's so small, I guarantee you, we know at least 5 to 10 people that we know, that we coming across path with. That's how it was with the rap shit. Proof kept me in the mix, but I wasn't a motherfucking rapper. I was just in the mix because this my man. I used to pick him up, I got to go over here and do this. Woo. He invited me to the fucking Aaliyah video on Bell Eye. AJ number the number. Go back and look at that. Proof got a cameo in that. He asked me to go. I didn't go because I was on my money shit. You feel what I'm saying? So when I got a chance to meet M, Roy 59, and all these people, that was because of Proof, bro. When I met Spice One, was because of Proof. You understand what I'm saying?
And just even with Proof, man, his passing, you know what I mean? Like, because I've heard some people explain, but I've heard different stories about how Proof passed. Do you know how Proof passed?
Listen. That shit still hurt to this day, bro. Everybody has their own feelings about that. Me, myself, personally, I didn't know Proof. I knew Sean. So, a lot of people could look at this and like, who the fuck is he? Y'all motherfuckers wasn't supposed to know who I was, but just believe this, I know who the fuck y'all is. I done been in places with Bizarre. This before they even blew up. Like one time, Obi, I remember one time we went down to the St. Andrew, bro. And Obi had got his deal. Now, mind you, I've been fucking with Obi before he got his deal a few years. I can't remember, but I say he got on about 2000 something, early 2000 something. I think 2003. So I have been fucking with Obi since about 96. So what's that? Avalon. And he said, I can't get you upstairs. And I'm looking at him and I'm laughing like, bro, what the fuck is you talking about? Nigga, I was down here before you. Proof called me and told me to meet. But I ain't telling him that. I'm thinking this fucking retarded ass shit. So his brother come to me, Terry, and was like, yo, CD right here. You go, I can't do nothing. So I'm looking at him like, bro, I've already been upstairs with him then. What the fuck is you talking about? They had the little black curtains. I came back downstairs and Obi just had got there. But Proof had told the security, this man don't need no pass. You get what I'm saying? He can come and go as he please. He don't need the little strip. Y'all just remember him. This CD. And to tell you, that's just, I gave you that story because Proof had that power way before. Proof was Detroit. Fuck all these other niggas. I give Eminem his respect and he'll tell you his motherfucking self. Proof motherfucking is the reason why Eminem was fucking them, man. Stop fucking playing, bro. These niggas don't give them enough. They don't give the real props to people who, that's why I say I was there. I'm not making this shit up.
And that's a good point because in my mind, now you got me thinking that when we mention Blade,
yeah,
we should be mentioning
my
Proof in the same manner.
Listen, every 10 years is a decade. So with that being said, I went from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. Everybody who was a man in the 70s wasn't a man in the 90s. So Blade, man, I love the Blade. You feel what I'm saying? Blade stamped his mark. Trick stamped his mark. You understand what I'm saying? Eminem stamped his mark. Royce 59 stamped his mark. You can't take that from these people. But it's just like I could tell you something, and I know it's an age difference between me and you. I can explain something to you, and I can tell you something. You're not going to know who certain people is. I talk to people and be like, do y'all know such and such rapper? They be like, hell no. Even to my sons. And they damn near 30s, in their 30s. There's nothing wrong with that. But I know where I come from with Proof. The Fifth Elements. You know what I'm saying? They homeboy that got killed on Bella, I was there. Bugs, I think it was Bugs. I was there, didn't even know. This is how we hung the fuck out. This is what we was doing, bro. We was fucking hoes, getting money, you know what I'm saying, and having fun. I didn't deal with Proof on the music shit till later. I dealt with Proof in motorcycle clubs, man, in the streets. I knew Shine. Like Jay Dilla, I didn't meet Jay Dilla. I met James, bro. I didn't meet Eminem. I met Marshall. I didn't meet Al Nook. I don't think he wanted everybody to know his real name, but I knew him as that. But the thing is, I was always in the mix. I just would never. I didn't give a fuck about the fame. Y'all can keep the fame, nigga. Give me the change.
Real talk.
You feel what I'm saying? And Proof was one of the realest nigga. They don't speak on him, just like Boss. Awesome Dre. Smiley. Poncho and B Def. Chaos and Maestro. Bro, if you go back and look at MC Breed first CD, he got on Detroit shit. MC Breed and the DFC. Everybody wanted to be from Detroit, bro. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Breed. Rest in peace. You get what I'm saying? First time I met Mystical was with Breed at the West Grand. You understand what I'm saying? First time I met Bobby Brown, I was trying to get him drugs at the St. Regency Hotel with Ralph. Facts. Blowing the crack out the goddamn window. 1989, motherfucker, the Indian Heartbreak Tour, my nigga. When I was about to beat Al B. Short ass in the lobby, nigga. Facts. My mama pulled up in the Lincoln because me and his bodyguard got into it. And he left that tour. Al B. Short left. I'm telling you, I was in the streets, bro. Yeah. For real.
And even now at this point,
right?
Even now at this point, when you think about your career, because we definitely gonna have you back on, bro.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. You feel me? Yeah. I got a lot more questions that I kind of want to.
We can do a part 2, bro, because it's so, like I said, we can't fit it all in.
For sure.
But the whole thing is, like I said, man, where this Detroit thing going, we didn't do this shit for a reputation. We did this shit because it was authentic. Man, I give Trick his props. I love Trick, man. I was there when Trick did the Booty Bounce video. And that was Proof. You understand what I'm saying? Proof called. Back then we didn't have a cell phone. Meet us over here. We over here. This dreadhead Proof. You know what I'm saying? But like I was about to say this real quick before we wrap it up. I tried to reach out to Helluva. I tried to reach out to a few other people. Peasy. Why these motherfuckers in Detroit always want to know what your budget is? And why these motherfuckers always want to tell you what this man price is to even work with him? Peasy, if you watching this, can you contact me at D-Day Music Group Gmail, or hit me up on the gram? Baby Money, hit me up. These are people. This motherfucker, Trick, hit me up. I got a song. I still rap too. I'm like Jay-Z, I rap. I put my shit out and see what these fuck niggas don't know. The streaming shit, I put my shit out and lease my music. You like to hear my shit out there down at the Little Caesar some goddamn where. But why the fuck these niggas always want to tax a nigga? Like Deja Low. That was my nephew's girlfriend. You understand what I'm saying? But everybody don't owe you shit. She got on, ain't look out. Obi Trice got on, didn't look out. M got on, didn't look out. I ain't mad at nobody. I still do me. They not stopping my bun rush. This real life shit. I ain't trying to be no rapper. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur, nigga. Before entrepreneur came to shit, before the entrepreneur shit came and panic, man, we've been doing this shit since the motherfucking 60s and 70s. Nigga, stop playing, man. Get money. See to the D up in this bitch.
Y'all heard it here, man. Diz, man. Be looking for that part 2, man. We definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Next time I come back, I'm gonna bring my artist with me, man.
Most definitely. That's what it is, man. Y'all heard it here, man. The Foreign Magazine, Pulse of the Culture. Let's get it.